Morning people, welcome back to United View and welcome to another injury update. Yeah, it's not really an injury update, but it's the chance to talk about injuries in more depth because it is time for another video with the one and only Dr. Andre. Dr. Andre, thank you for coming back again. I wish we didn't have anything to talk about. I wish that we could talk about things that will just intrigue us more rather than an actual player to discuss in depth. But we will be talking about Lisandro Martinez as well. And as normal, guys, remember, this video is brought to you by Oxford Natural and Gowan Live. And remember, you can get your Optimum products. You can scan the QR code on screen, or you can click the link in the video description below for your Optimum journey to begin. You can get your stuff all on there. And remember, it's up to 70% off with United View. So we're bringing this to you. And, you know, don't take my word for it. Dr. Andre, I mean, Optimum.
Before we start, you were looking a bit stiff before when you walked in.
Noticed.
So, as your doctor, okay, looking after you, what is the deal with this huffing and puffing with the movement?
Andre, I'm not going to lie. So I've started a new training program in the gym, right?
Okay.
I'm going with my friend, and but his gym is like calisthenics and like body weight.
Yeah.
It's a real struggle for me.
Not your thing.
Not
your usual thing.
Every time I go to the gym, like previously or in the past, like I make sure I stay away from that type of stuff. I like to just use the machines or the weights and just know what I'm. The body weight stuff has not really been for me, so I'm extremely weak in that area. So at the moment, that's why it's leg day today, and that's why you saw me sort of jelly legs on the way in,
I wonder what it was.
stiffness and soreness.
Yeah.
But I have to say, this is why it's very important that I've stayed using my Optimum, and it's a continuation of, because with where I'm at now, I mean, you can enlighten us, but the muscle repair side of it, I'm now having to wake up early to go to the gym because my friend, he goes early. So I'm like, right, need to tackle that. The diet has got to improve as well. So it's much of the same journey, but it's still going.
I mean, you're getting good sleep now, so the early starts are okay. If people haven't started their New Year fitness regime, if you've got to, the mornings are getting a bit lighter now, there's a bit more motivation to get up and around. And as you're finding, when you do something new and different, there's an adaptation, but you're going to persevere, aren't you? You're going to stick with it, because as the weeks and months go by, the body will adapt and respond. And the same with the Optimum, okay? It's going to help you with your training. It's got L-carnitine, alpha-ketoglutarate inside the 8-in-1 capsule, which helps with fat burn. So it will take fat to the cells to be burnt, and then it helps muscle build as well as controlling blood sugar. And if you need that energy kick in the morning time, the guarana and green tea gets you up and out and motivated to do it. So gradual results over time, the way exercise is too, and Optimum helps you with that journey, taking it day and night for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is what I've been doing. So the boys, Owen's on a great journey as well. You guys have seen him. He's lost a load of weight again.
I'm optimised too.
Josh is optimised. Josh is a gym machine now, because like you say with Optimum, it's not just you take this supplement and all of a sudden you get muscles and you're going to lose weight. You have to be on your fitness regime. You have to be doing the right things. Josh is just a different person as well. He's going gym pretty much every day.
I mean, it is supplement. The reason why it's supplement, it has to supplement something else. So we mustn't forget the importance of good nutrition, calorie control, and good fluid intake, and exercise, crucial. And this will help you do those things as well.
100%, exactly that. Right, today's topic though. We were both at the game actually. We didn't watch the game together, but you was at the game, I saw. Caught up with you afterwards, where Lisandro Martinez.
And you called it. So I think, I'm not going to claim it, but because of our interaction, the passing on of knowledge, 100%. you now spot these things from pitch side, and you said to me, it's an ACL straight away that way. And I thought, well, I'll hold back on it, because they were very cautious on the day and they're very protective. All the team were there for 10 minutes. I thought, were they fearing a fracture? But no, you were confident. You said, Doc, that's an ACL.
And do you know what? I'm so glad you said that, Dr. Andre, because these lot, you lot, right? They were laughing at me on a match view that we did. I was on a stream with KG and Owen, right? Actually, no, KG and Owen were laughing at me. This is to them, right? Because something happened to Garnacho, right? And it was just a quick knock. He was in a bit of pain, but I said, he'll be fine. And they went, oh, how do you know? I said, listen, I've been with Dr. Andre, mate. I've got a better eye for these things. Then he gets up, and I was being quite sarcastic. Every little touch he took off, I said, oh, look at the injured Garnacho. It looks fine to me. I told you it'd be all right. And they all laughed at me. So officially from Dr. Andre to come straight here and say, passed on the knowledge. You spotted the ACL straight away. You called it. Dr. Andre saying it, mate. So Owen and KG, hold that. Yeah. Stop getting on to me. I have got an eye for the injuries now. But on a serious note, it's a really, really bad one for him. Yeah. I know you've got some images that you want to take us through in a little sec, but initially, out for an indefinite time. They haven't put a scale on it yet, but it's a long time. You was in the stadium. What was your first thoughts from seeing that, and what do you think we're looking at here?
There was always a good marker for how serious an injury was when you first see it. It's how much the player rolls around. So the more the player rolls around, the less they're hurt. But when they're still, and when they sort of point straight away, then some players will, shall we say, fake injuries for whatever they need to. But when they stay still and they point, and call for help, then you see it's gone past the usual mimicry of injuries into, I'm hurt, I really need help here. So everyone knew it was serious by the way he was just still pointing, holding his face. It was clearly a serious issue. And yet, so if it turns out to be, as it is, he's had surgery, I think for this thing. So anterior cruciate ligament, ACL. I know we've probably talked about it before, but we'll definitely go into a bit of detail, just so we really understand it. I reckon if you don't know confidently what ACL injury means, by 5 minutes' time, you'll be virtually an armchair expert on it. That's what we're looking to do. And you said, how long is he out for? It's always the question as the manager would turn to you as they go off on the stretcher and say, Doc, how long is he out for? It's like, whoa. But we know for these injuries, we don't generally see the player less than 9 months after the injury. And we'll explain exactly why that is when we do look at our wonderful diagrams,
well,
etc.
you brought us to that. Let's take a look at that. Dr. Andre has prepared some images, because I think in football, obviously, we see this injury a lot. In sports, we see this injury a lot. And sometimes we don't always understand the mechanics behind it, which is interesting. So you have got some images.
I'm going stand up.
Wow, be careful. I mean, don't do your back in or your hamstring.
Careful. And we're taking it next level now. We're using screens. I think Josh has got us lined up now with. I think look at Dr. Andre. First go. Look, I know what I'm doing. Okay,
right, so what can we see here? What is this?
So the reason why the cruciate is so important is stability. Okay, that's the one watchword. Okay, the knee is so crucial. It has to be stable. And other injuries can cause a lot of pain, discomfort, swelling, but they don't affect stability. So on the outside here, collateral ligaments at the side, okay, so MCL, LCL, collateral ligaments. They are outside of the joint, and therefore they don't affect stability the way the cruciate does, which is inside the joint. Okay, so right deep inside the joint where the two bones meet, there is this cross. Okay, so cruciate, like crucifix, means cross. Okay, so there's cross ligaments there.
As in,
crucial.
Yeah, very
crucial.
Important.
Yeah, but cruciate means cross.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what there's an anterior and a posterior, and they form this crisscross between there, so it can never go too far, and they can't slide over. If they slide over, that's unstable, and the knee will give way. Okay. Ooh, you got that tingle. Got that tingle in your knees.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking.
So diagrammatically here is the cruciate ligament. Okay, and we can see this shows a complete tear. Now, when it's completely torn, there is now too much play forward, and one knee will move in front of the other, so that is unstable. Now, it's completely torn, so you can't repair it. The ends will now be not like that. One will be stuck over there, one will be stuck down there. Then the end's never going to find each other. When these tear, okay, the ends often find each other and they sort of glue back together, but that's gone, they're never going to find each other. So you could not do anything, just wait, rehab, get the muscle super strong, and you could return to playing in a few months. The problem is that because there is this extra play in the knee, the bones connect on each other, they wear out, and you get arthritis early. So we never do that anymore.
That's just not an option.
So it's an unstable injury.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he walks around, the knee will like be a jelly.
Oh.
Okay, and so therefore we've got to do something. Now, if it's completely torn and the end's never going to find each other, what are we going to do? And can Josh bring up the next? So this works. It'd be amazing if it works.
Yeah.
I've got to come out there.
Look at that.
Amazing. I'm going to hold here to get my little thing up. Okay, brilliant. And there's my little pen there. Good.
Look at that.
Okay. Now, I said before, we can't replace the two ends. They're gone. Okay. So we have to think of something else. And the reason why it's going to take a long time to recover is because we're going to do a graft. Okay. A graft. Okay. We're going to get a piece of the body from somewhere else. In this case, we're going to get it from the tendon here of your patella, or a little piece of the hamstring, stuff that you can get
on the inside of it.
Yeah, just the tendon itself of the hamstring, or the tendon here. You've got more than you need. So we can take a strip of it. I'm going to show you here with my red pen. This here is the strip of the, there we go, all the way. That is taken from the hamstring or the patella, okay? So we're going to drill a hole here, slide it through this tendon, okay? And then screw it there, and this now is our new cruciate ligament, grafted from your own body. There it is. But the difference is, and you mentioned this before, you said, oh, it's a muscle injury. Obviously, it's ligament. Ligament is not the same as tendon and not the same as muscle.
Because if I remember correctly from
Go on, give it.
My only A I ever had in my life, which was for GCSE PE. I got an A in that, right? But I'm probably going to fluff this up. But I remember one is bone to bone.
Yes.
One connects bone to joint. What?
You were doing really well. Okay.
Yeah.
But you kept talking.
Yeah.
So ligament is bone to bone.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So cruciate ligament is bone to bone.
Yeah.
Okay. Tendon is muscle to bone. Okay. So therefore, tendon has to be a little bit stretchy, elastic. Okay. More elastic than ligament. Ligament, not inelastic. You
don't want that.
Sturdy.
Movement,
It limits movement. Tendon has to give. That's why when you were stretching and doing all your stretches this morning, you could go so far, then a bit further.
Yeah.
But ligaments don't want to do. They are meant to be fairly structured and rigid. Okay. So tendon is not a ligament, but we put a tendon here where the ligament was. Now, because we've taken the tendon away, the tendon is going to effectively scar over and sort of die over the next 6 months. And it will turn into a ligament. So it will lose the elastic nature, okay? It will scar over, because that's what happens when it loses blood supply. It scars over, and that process takes around about 6 to 9 months.
So in terms of Lisandro now, or any player, but of course we're talking about Martinez here, what in terms of like, what sort of condition will that tendon, will it be as strong as the last one? Is he more susceptible now to that type of injury?
It's good enough. Okay, it's good enough to last years in professional play. Actually, recurrences are not very common. Okay, they certainly happen for a wide number of factors, but really, if this is done properly and well, it may be stronger than the one that he had before that tore, because it tore for a reason. There'd be some wear and tear, some play. That's why it went when it went.
The same knee he had, because this happened to him last year. I will say that, but I don't know if it was the same knee.
This is a solid repair. Okay, and generally they hold very, very well for years to come. But the key is, why is it taking so long? It's a graft. The tendon has to transform into a ligament. And of course, if you come back too early and this is too elastic, what will happen? Snap again. Okay, so we've got to respect the process. And then when it's actually fitted in there, there is a tightness to the joint, which has to be also undone. And that takes some months of rehab. So slow heal, but generally good outcomes.
Will any of the other parts of the knee suffer as a consequence of that part of the knee being so weak for this period of time?
No, you can rehab the muscles and things. It depends.
Obviously he's got his leg up now.
Sometimes the injury does not occur in isolation.
Right.
So just that has happened and nothing else. And you can sometimes damage the meniscus. This is almost like a piece of cheese that sits in between there.
Yeah, because sometimes you hear of a meniscus injury. So you could maybe not have an ACL, but just have an injury to your meniscus.
Yeah, but you can do all three at the same time. You can do this one, and tear that one too. and even you can't see the patella, even crack the patella too. So sometimes they say, oh, it's more serious than we thought. When they go in, they find out that there's sometimes a triad of things that have happened. And therefore but because the recovery is so long, these will heal long before that's actually healed. So it doesn't make too much difference. But hopefully it is more isolated to the cruciate, maybe some other little wear and tear here, but that will be the main issue, and therefore recovery could be uncomplicated.
That is fascinating stuff. That is, yeah, absolutely. I mean, to see it, thank you for that. I mean, to see it visually, proper, A-level PE, that,
Yeah, so there was a way of doing it years ago to get them back a bit quicker, where they'd use a cadaver cruciate. That is a graft from a dead body.
Wow.
Okay, so they take the cruciate from someone that had passed away, and they would donor it, and they would put that in there. And that's a much quicker fix, because that's a ligament, that's a bit quicker, but they tended to fail just because it isn't quite as robust, and therefore over time
imagine that. So, and I didn't realise they take to go and replace that. That was what was eye-opening for me.
Yeah, this is years ago. This is
but I mean in terms of what you said for now.
Yeah.
It didn't really occur to me, because I never really gave it much thought. I didn't really know, to be fair, that they would take the ligament from somewhere else, basically.
Yeah, so tendon,
strand of it, and
tendon,
then insert it to there.
In there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was thinking, could they reattach the one? It was a bit like you said, because it's gone.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that.
Yeah.
That is incredible. And for Lisandro coming back, would you say there are specific measures now? Should he play? He's a very aggressive player. I mean, he was there at the game. He's very passionate. He likes to go flying into tackles. And of course, that's what makes him the type of player he is. Would you be saying to players, that's the aim, to get back to play exactly how you, or sometimes you have to have conversations, say, listen, I know you play in this manner, might you just tone it down a little bit, you've had a couple of knee ops now, or that's the whole point, get back to exactly what you were.
That is the purpose of surgery.
Is it more psychological that you got to work on to make sure because he could be thinking, I don't want to go flying into tackles now, I don't want to go at full pelt. How do you manage that?
I mean, you don't want to get too inside their heads. He's an aggressive player. That won't change. His mindset isn't going to change. Okay, he'll have friends all over the place that have had this injury. They've come back to it. They haven't changed. So no need to change your attitude at all. But it'll feel strong. If they feel strong and secure, they'll be away and off. It won't change that at all.
Fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. To round off. Again, you're not Lisandro's doctor. You haven't had access to his scans and his documents as to how long he'll be out for. But if you were a Manchester United doctor now, you've seen what's happened, and now he's got the operation. Is it safe to say, because some people are even saying like a calendar year, like even towards sort of December times, maybe come back then, or what sort of time frame roughly do you think we could see him back?
I think in your head, obviously you want to help the player have a mental construct as to when the return is likely, and you want to report to the board, and you give that 9 months to a year zone. Again, they've seen enough of them. So the club knows.
This isn't a foreign.
The club just knows the season's over. By the anniversary of this happening, we would like to see him back on the pitch. Thank you. And therefore, if we can get back 2-3 months earlier, all well and good. But we're just never going to see them for 8 months before, 8 months after the injury. We're just not going to see
minimum them.
Yeah.
8 to 9 months minimum.
Yeah.
And that's, wow, where are we now? February. That's easily into next year. After summer, and then looking at
so
September, October.
Should be just before Christmas time, that sort of thing. I think is the likely time to see him.
Not great news, but
one day I'll come on this show with good news.
Yeah,
there'll be a time.
I just say it's great. He's going to be back fine. He'll be this, that, and the other. We've got some serial injuries as well. People are crocked a lot of the time, but we've spoken about them. But that is the breakdown of Lisandro Martinez ACL injury. Dr. Andre, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for enlightening us and just breaking it down into layman's terms. And now I do feel like an armchair expert. Actually, you're right. I felt like that.
I think we've all gained knowledge. Okay? Yeah, and we can sort of lord it over our rivals that we know more than they do about these sort of injuries.
100%. Sure. Guys, remember the video is sponsored by Oxford Natural and Gowan Life, and you can get your optimum supplements with the help of ours. Yeah, 70% off using the code UnitedView. Spoke about it at the beginning of the video about my journey, KG's journey, Owen's, and a lot of you guys have been getting involved as usual as well, letting us know about your journeys too, and you can join it right now. So scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the video description below for your optimum deal. Brought to you by us. Take care, guys. See you in another video. Smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Big thanks to Dr. Andre, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.